4 shlokas. We'll try to cover 34, 35, 36, 37, if possible, 38 also we'll see today, okay? So far, just to recap, we saw that, what is that, Keshadi Padavarnanam, we saw how she looks, where she lives, and all that. And then we saw how she is slaying Bandasura, right? With all her army, all the Upadevatas and all her chief devatas and the different types of army, different types of chariots, and how it is related to chakras, the Sri Chakra, Sri Chakra Ratharudha and all. And then we saw, okay, by burning ego, Bhandasura Vadham is nothing but burning our own ego and the bad qualities, so that the way is made for the good qualities or Deva Gunas to come in, right? So 34 is like a good, segue into the next part of Sri Lalita Sahasranamam. So here the first one we saw Hara Netragni Sandagdha Kama Sanjeevan Aushadhi, right? So Kama is nothing but desire or our ego and arrogance. So that was burnt by Lord Shiva, but Devi gave the Sanjeevan Aushadhi. So she became the medicine for that. So she, even though Shiva is burning the ego, that is with good intent only. She will become the medicine and she'll make us, she's preparing us to get all the good qualities or to follow the path of yoga or, spirituality. So the second part is the starting of the mantra swarupam of the Devi. Now we saw her real form, like swarupam, we saw Keshadi Padavarnanam, which was a physical presence, right? Physical form was, the description was of the physical form. Now it is the subtle form or sukshma rupam. That's what we are going to see now in the next few shlokas. So we saw a little bit of that in saying Srimad Vagbhava Kutaika Swarupa Mukha Pankaja, right? He said her lotus face represents or is the embodiment of the Vagbhava Kutaika. So the Srividya, whole Srividya Upasana is around, Srividya Upasana is a little more stricter following of the tradition of following the Devi. But Panchat, that is the moolam of that, the essence of that is the Panchadashi mantra or Panchadashakshari mantra. Just like we have Om Namo Narayanaya, that is 8 letters. Om Namah Shivaya, Panchakshari. We have Saravana Bhava for Subramanya, right? Similarly, we have 15-lettered mantra for the Devi. And Srimad, and it is divided into 3 groups. The first part is Vagbhava Kuta. So group, Kuta is like group. So, and next is the middle portion, next is the end portion. We'll come to that in the next shlokas. So first one was the first part of it. So that is C. Now we'll see today's first shloka. Kantadhakkati paryanta madhyakuta swarupini shakti kutaikatapanna katyadho bhagadharini. Now kantadha, we know kantham is the neck or the throat, okay? And kati paryanta, so below the throat and above the waist. So that throat portion is Madhya Kuta Swarupini. So we are mantra and Devi. So from here we have to understand mantra and the Devi are not different. Okay. By internalizing the mantra, we are actually feeling or internalizing the Devi inside us. Okay. So we have to see this is the mantra form of the Devi. So the Madhya portion is the Madhya portion of the Panchadashakshari. So that is what we mean here. So if we want the exact word meanings, Kantadha, adha means it is below. So Kantadha is below the neck. Kati Paryanta is until the waist. And having the middle part. That is what is meant by Madhya Kuta Swarupini. So, Swarupini, embodiment of that Madhya Kuta, middle section of the Panchadashakshri. That is what the first line means. And it is, in effect, the Panchadashakshri will cover all aspects of, existence, like creation, sustenance, and transformation, or destruction or transformation. So, that is the first line. Second line is Shakti Kutaika Tapanna Katya Dho Bhaga Dharini. So just like we saw the middle portion is referred to as Kamaraja. Okay, just like how the first part was Srimad Vagbhava, second part is Kamaraja, is the Madhya Kuta. And the last portion is called Shakti Kutaika. Shakti Kuta. So Shakti Kutaika Tapanna, that is the below her waist, Katyadho Bhaga. So below her waist part, that is the base of everything, right? Her legs. So that part represents the last portion of the mantra. So first was her head portion, that was her mukham. Mukha Pankajam represented the Srimad Vagbhava Kuta. Vak is of speech, knowledge, and everything. Kantadha is the Kama aspect of it, like wish or desire part of it. That represents the middle portion of the mantra, and also her middle, like from neck to the waist. And below waist represents the last part of the mantra. And that is the base of it, or sustenance. So that's the meaning of this one. Now we'll look at the chanting of this one. Who wants to volunteer to repeat?
Okay.
Repeat cheyanana. So
okay.
Kantadhakkati paryanta.
Kantadhakkati paryanta.
Madhyakuta Swarupini.
Madhyakuta Swarupini.
Kuta Swarupini.
Kuta Swarupini.
Shakti Kutaika Tapanna.
Shakti Kutaika Tapanna.
Katyadho Bhaga Dharini.
Katyadho Bhaga Dharini.
So, each line is completely one nama. So, fully we have to chant it continuously. Okay. So, together. Kantadhakkati paryanta madhyakuta swarupini.
Kantadhakkati paryanta madhyakuta swarupini.
Shakti Kutaika Tapanna Katyadho Bhaga Dharini.
Shakti Kutaika Tapanna Katyadho Bhaga Dharini.
Very nice. Okay. One more person.
I can, Visha.
Okay. Kantadhakkati paryanta.
Kantadhakkati paryanta.
Yeah. So the rule is, the Sanskrit rule is, in some places, this is one pada or the entire thing, right? We cannot break after the kantadha word. So that visarga, if it is before a ka, we just pronounce it as half ka. Okay. So it is kantadhakkati anganatha pronunciation. So if it is certain other words, it will become ir, right? It transforms into ir. Or some places it will become, if it is before a pa, it will become uf sound. Namah Parvati. So this rule is, if it is before a ka, we have to say it like a half ha. So Kantadhakkati paryanta.
Kantadhakkati paryanta.
Yeah, but the ta is also Mahaprana here. So Kantadhakkati paryanta.
Kantadhakkati paryanta.
Madhyakuta Swarupini.
Madhyakuta Swarupini.
Shakti Kutaika Tapanna.
Shakti Kutaika Tapanna.
Katyadho Bhaga Dharini.
Katyadho Bhaga Dharini.
Dha is also Mahaprana. So Katyadho Bhaga Dharini.
Katyadho Bhaga Dharini.
Correct. Yeah. One more person, anyone wants to do it? Well, this one has a lot of tricky pronunciations.
I can do it. Okay.
Okay, Ranjani, okay.
Okay.
Kantadhakkati paryanta.
Kantadhakkati paryanta.
Yeah, this tha is also Mahaprana, okay? But when you practice, just remember that. Kantadhakkati paryanta.
Kantadhakkati paryanta.
Madhyakutaswarupini.
Madhyakutaswarupini.
Shaktikutaikatapanna.
Shaktikutaikatapanna.
Not panna, but panna, okay? Kutaikatapanna.
Shaktikutaikatapanna.
Katyadhobhaga.
Katyadhobhaga.
Dharini.
Dharini.
We'll try it together. Kantadhakkati paryanta madhyakutaswarupini.
Kantadhakkati paryanta madhyakutaswarupini.
Shaktikutaikatapanna katyadhobhaga dharini.
Shaktikutaikatapanna katyadhobhaga dharini.
Nice. Okay. Now we'll go to the next shloka. Okay. So, Moola mantratmika moola kuta trayakale Kula mritaika rasika kula sanketa palini. So here we have 4 different namas, okay? Moola mantratmika, moola kuta traya kalebara. So you will see kalebara or kalevara, both are accepted. Kula mritaika rasika is the third nama. Kula sanketa palini is the fourth nama. So there are 4 namas. So first one is Moola Mantratmika. Moola Mantram, it's kind of intuitive. We can say the meaning, right? So she is a root. Moolam is root, Mantratmika. So she is a Swarupam of the Mantram itself. So we already saw that in the previous ones, but nothing but she is the very essence of the root mantra, which is the Pancha, the Shakshari mantra. So there are different Moola mantras for each god, just like I said earlier. Om Namah Shivaya is there for Shiva. Saravana Bhava is there for Muruga. Or Om Namo Narayana is there for Narayana. But since goddess Parvati, Lalitha is above all, that is the supreme mantra also. Supreme Moola mantra. And she is the essence of the Moola mantra. Root mantra. Moola mantra, okay? And which is the Moola mantra here we are talking about? That is the Panchadashakshari mantra. There are different letters to it. So we don't have to go into the Panchadashakshari mantra. It's groups of letters, right? So first part, second part, third part, we saw that. That is followed by, they say you have to recite that or chant that only with proper initiation. Like some guru has to give it to you. They say you have to get Upadesa, right? So only then you can do it. It's only because it needs intense practice and certain disciplined, very strict rules to be followed, because it's very powerful. Not that we shouldn't do it or there is a restriction, but if it is followed, it has to be followed in the right tradition. That is called Sri Vidya Upasana. I don't know if anybody has visited. There is a temple in Rochester. That temple itself is Sri Vidya temple. So there they have that very strict followers there. So that we don't have to go into the depth, but that is there. Okay, that is the Moola Mantram. But by chanting Lalitha Sahasranamam itself, we'll get all the benefits of doing that. And this is the easier way. It's more shlokas, but this is the easier way. That is only one mantra, but you just repeated chanting and following all the rituals that they follow along with the upasana, you internalize it. So this is an easier path to chant the Lalita Sahasranama. Okay, so that is the first part of this. Moola Mantratmika, Moola Kuta Traya Kalevara. So Moola Kuta Traya. So we saw 3 groups, right? So Moola Kuta Traya. Traya is three groups of letters. Kalebara is her body. So her body is together the 3 Moola Kutas make up her body. Same thing, we saw that, right? So her body is nothing but the mantra. So that is a physical body. This is a subtle form. So both are one and the same. And Kulam Ritaika Rasika. Kula, we know, right? We say, what is your kulam? That's your lineage or race. Here it is the base. Base is nothing but the Kundalini Shakti or the essence. That is the base of existence, or that is where the spiritual energy originates or starts. That is the Kula meaning. And it even earlier shlokas we saw, right? The ultimate aim is to bring up the energy from which is dormant in the Mooladhara chakra, bring it up to the Sahasrara, right? And Kula can refer to the base as well as the channel through which it rises up. That is called as the Sushumna Nadi. So that is along the spine it runs. And these chakras are also along our center of the body, along the spine. So it goes up one level by one level and goes above our head. So that if there is no blockage by, clearing all our impurities, not impurities as such, but clearing the path, we reach that spiritual awakening, right? So Kula Amrita Eka Rasika. Kula Amrita Eka. So Kula Amrita Eka. All these 3 words together make Kula Amrita Eka. So Rasika. So she is the enjoyer of, she is pleased by when we have the spiritual awakening, that is when she enjoys that, or she is pleased by that. That is the meaning of this. So when we bring up our inner consciousness, she enjoys that. And Kula Sanketa Palini. She is a protector of, so this is all the Kula tradition. So the tradition of following this kind of a spiritual awakening is that technology, or that Sanketam, that's what is referred to. That tradition is, Palini is Palikyuga, right? Who is conserving that, or who is safeguarding that. So she is the protector of this kind of a practice, or this mode of worship. So that is Kula tradition, or this. She is a keeper of the knowledge of Sri Vidya. Okay, this following the Panchadashakshari mantra and internalizing that and reaching spiritual awakening is the Sri Vidya Upasana. It has many parts to it. It has many rituals to it, but in essence, that is the Sri Vidya Upasana, and she is the keeper of that knowledge. Okay, now we'll go to the recitation of this. Kirti, you want to do?
Yeah.
Moolamantratmika.
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 Moolakotatraya
Moolakootatraye
Kalebara.
Moolakootatraya Kalebara.
Kulamritaika Rasika.
Kulamritaika Rasika.
Kula Sanketa Palini.
Kula Sanketa Palini.
Nice. We'll try it together. Moolamantratmika Moolakotatraya Kalebara.
Moolamantratmika Moolakootatraye Kalebara.
Kalebara.
Traya
Kulamritaika Rasika Kula Sanketa Palini.
Kulamritaika Rasika Kula Sanketa Palini.
Yeah, nice. Nisha, you also want to repeat?
Yes.
Moolamantratmika
मूलमन्त्रात्मिका
मूलकूटत्रयकलेबरा
मूलकूटत्र
त्रयकलेबरा
मूलकूटत्रयले
मूलकूटत्रयकलेबरा
मूलकूटत्रयकलेबरा
कुलामृतैकरसिका
कुलामृतैकरसिका
कुलसङ्केतपालिनी
कुलसङ्केतपालिनी
together मूलमन्त्रात्मिका मूलकूटत्रयकलेबरा
मूलमन्त्रात्मिका मूलकूटत्रयकलेबरा
कुलामृतैकरसिका कुलसङ्केतपालिनी
कुलामृतैकरसिका कुलसङ्केतपालिनी.
Yeah. Earlier when I said Nisha, but
Oh.
yeah. So Nisha.
Yes പറഞ്ഞ് നടക്കണം.
I was about to sing, but Lisha sang, so I'm good for it. Thank you.
Okay. Nisha, you can go now.
Sure.
मूलमन्त्रात्मिका
मूलमन्त्रात्मिका
मूलकूटत्रयकलेबरा
मूलकूटत्रये कलेबरा
मूलकूटत्रयकलेबरा
मूलकूटत्रये
त्रयकलेबरा
त्रयकलेबरा
कुलामृतैकरसिका
कुलामृतरसिका.
Yeah, so it is basically Kula Amrita Eka. So together Kulamritaikarasika
कुलामृतैकरसिका
Kulasanketapalini.
कुलसङ्केतपालिनी.
Now we'll try together. Moolamantratmika Moolakutatrayakalevaraa.
मूलमन्त्रात्मिका मूलकूटत्रयकलेबरा
कुलामृतैकरसिका कुलसङ्केतपालिनी
कुलामृतैकरसिका
कुलामृतैकरसिका कुलसङ्केतपालिनी
कुलामृतैकरसिका कुलसङ्केतपालिनी
कुलसङ्केतपालिनी.
कुलसङ्केतपालिनी.
Yeah, it's all about Kula, right? So just remember that. So Kulamritaikarasika, Kula Sanketapalini. So it's not Kula, but Kula, okay? So yeah, next we'll go to the next shloka. Kulangana kulantastha kaulini kulayogini akula samayantastha samayachara tatpara. So this one, anyone wants to guess how many namas are there?
Seven.
Correct. Who was that?
Divya.
Divya. Okay, yeah. So Kulangana is one name. Kulantastha is one name. Kaulini is one name. Kula Yogini is one name. Akula is the fifth name. Sixth one is Samayantastha. And seventh one is Samayachara Tatpara. Okay. So now we can see just word meaning. It's also the Nama. So Kulangana. Kulangana is, she is the noble lady of the Kula. Or because we already saw Kula refers to the Mooladhara Chakra and the path. So both the origin and the journey. So that is all related to our spiritual. So the ultimate aim of the whole Lalitha Sahasranamam or following that is our spiritual awakening or to attain pure consciousness, right? So she is the noble lady of the Kula or Kulangana, this following of this spiritual awakening. And Kulantastha. Antastha we already saw in some shlokas before. In it, or she is living in it, residing in it. So she resides in the Kula. She is the noble lady. She is the owner of it, or she is the runner of it. She is that. So All these things are the presence of Devi in us. So when she is here, we bring her up, she is joyful, right? She is pleased by that. So she lives in the Kula. And Kaulini is a third name. Kaulini again is Kaula. Kaula is the tradition of following this Sri Vidya. So she is behind that, or she is the essence of the Kaula tradition. Okay. The Shakti of the Kaula sect, or this Tantric tradition, she is behind that. And Kula Yogini. She is the Yogini of the Kula, or she is the power behind this Kula tradition. So she helps us, the individual soul, to unite with the Supreme Soul, right? Adi Shiva, right? So she helps us in that. So that's why she is a Kula Yogini. She helps us do the yoga to unite with the Supreme Soul, our individual, like in every concept, right? Like when we talk about what is that, even Tirupavai or everything. So in the end, it is the union of Jivatma and Paramatma. So that is the ultimate aim in all traditions. Whatever scripture we follow, whatever path we follow within Hinduism, it is for the Jivatma to unite with the Paramatma. And yeah, so, and the next line is Akula. Akula is, so Kula is, she is part of that. But we also say she is Akula because we see that, right? She is beyond the opposite. So she is beyond all the Kulas also. She's a representation of Kula. She helps us follow the Kula, Kaula Marga and everything. But she's also beyond the Kulas, right? Because she's not limited to any one thing. But even though she is beyond the Kulas, she lives in this Samaya, or Samaya is the in Tamil, Samayam is actually religion. So similarly here, it is a religion of following this tradition of Tantric tradition or Sri Vidya Upasana. So she lives in that tradition. And Samayachara Tatpara. Samayam is that school of Tantra, okay? Tantra of tradition. So she is Samayachara Tatpara, meaning she is a supporter, or she is devoted to this mode of worship. She is pleased when we follow this and purify our chakras, which is our ultimate goal. So Kulangana, Kulantastha, Kaulini, Kulayogini, all in different ways explain how she is within the Kula, she is the Kula, she is a noble lady of the Kula, and she helps us run or observe the Kula tradition. And she is also helping us unite with the Supreme Consciousness. Even though she's beyond all these Kula and this following of any tradition, she lives in this Samaya, or in this Tantric tradition, and she is pleased when we follow this and purify our chakras, or we awaken spiritually. Now we'll go to the chanting of this. Ranjani, you want to do?
Yes, please.
Kulangana,
Kulangana,
Kulantastha,
Kulantastha,
Kaulini,
Kaulini,
Kulayogini,
Kulayogini,
Akula,
Akula,
Samayantastha,
Samayantastha,
Samayachara Tatpara.
Samayachara Tatpara.
Okay, this one was nice and easy, right?
Right.
Okay. Kulangana, we'll try together. Kulangana, Kulantastha, Kaulini, Kulayogini,
Kulangana, Kulantastha, Kaulini, Kulayogini,
Akula, Samayantastha, Samayachara Tatpara.
Akula, Samayantastha, Samayachara Tatpara.
Yes. One more person, anybody wants to try?
No, I can.
Yeah, okay. Kulangana, Kulantastha,
Kulangana kulantastha
Kaulini Kulayogini.
Kaulini Kulayogini.
നമ്മൾ മലയാളം സ്ക്രിപ്റ്റ് ആണ് ഫോളോ ചെയ്യുന്നതെങ്കിൽ അതിൽ ലാ എന്നായിരിക്കും. പക്ഷെ ആക്ച്വലി സാൻസ്ക്രിറ്റ് പ്രൊണൗൺസിയേഷൻ വെച്ച് നോക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ എല്ലാം ആ ചെറിയ ലല്ലല ആ ലാ.
Yes, la.
കുലാംഗന കുലാന്തസ്ഥ കൗലിനി കുലയോഗിനി.
Kulangana kulantastha Kaulini Kulayogini.
അകുലാ സമയാന്തസ്ഥ
Agula samayandastha
സമയാചാര തത്പരാ.
Samayachara tatpara.
അകുലാ സമയാന്തസ്ഥ സമയാചാര തത്പരാ.
Agulam samayandastha samayachara tatpara.
Sarina, you want to do?
Yeah, I can go.
Kulangana kulantastha
Kulangana kulantastha
Kaulini kulayogini.
Kaulini kulayogini.
Akula samayantastha
Akula samayantastha
Akula samayantastha
Akula samayantastha
Samayachara tatpara.
Samayachara tatpara.
This one is fairly simple, right? Everything is very normal. Only this tha and this tha are Mahaprana. So that alone we have to keep in mind. That's all. Srilata, you also want to try?
Yeah.
Kulangana, we'll try the whole line, okay?
Yeah.
Kulangana kulantastha kaulini kulayogini.
Kulangana kulantastha Kaulini Kulayogini.
Akula samayantastha samayachara tatpara.
Akula samayantastha samayachara tatpara.
Okay, good. So there are 6 more minutes. Should we do the next one or okay, we'll do one more. Okay. We'll run through and we'll recap next week. Mooladharaika nilaya Brahma Granthi Vibhedini Manipurantarudita Vishnu Granthi Vibhedini. So how many namas are in this one?
4.
4, correct. So we saw Mooladharaika Nilaya, right? We already saw that when explaining Kulantastha. So she is the base, or we saw she lives there. That is where she resides. Nilaya, that is her stabilizer of the Mooladharaika chakra. Okay, so she resides in the Mooladhara chakra. And Brahma Granthi Vibhedini. You must have heard these Brahma Granthi, Vishnu Granthi in other scripts. They refer to the knots. There are like 3 different knots. So ഈ knots ഒക്കെ അയക്കുമ്പോഴായിരിക്കും നമുക്ക് അത് chakras clear ആവുന്നത്. So she is the piercer of this Brahma Granthi knot. We can see more details later, but for now that is one knot which is preventing us from clearing the chakra. So that is the first knot, okay? Brahma Granthi Vibhedini. That knot, she helps us to break or untie that, free that knot. Once that is freed, it moves to the next chakra. This is a navel chakra. So Mooladhara chakra is at the very base, right? At the end of the spinal cord. So that's why they say, even for Shivaratri and all, to keep your spine straight. That helps in doing better yoga to clear our chakras. So the next chakra is the navel chakra or Pokkal Navadala chakra. That is behind that, right? Behind the Pokkal is the Manipuranta chakra. So Manipuranta Rudita. So once that Brahma Granthi is freed, she shines in the Manipuranta chakra. Rudita means to shine. And next is Vishnu Granthi Vibhedini. So Vibhedini is one who breaks or frees or a piercer of that knot. So next one is a Vishnu Granthi. Okay, that. So you can see Brahma Granthi, Vishnu Granthi, Rudra Granthi. These are the three knots. So we are covering the two in this shloka. So she is a piercer of the Brahma Granthi knot and the Vishnu Granthi knot. Okay. So we'll quickly recite this. Any volunteers?
I can do that, Shanthi.
Okay. Mooladharaika
मूलाधारैकनिलया
Brahma Granthi Vibhedini
ब्रह्मग्रन्थिविभेदिनी
Manipurantarudita
पुरान्तरुदिता
Vishnu Granthi Vibhedini.
विष्णुग्रन्थिविभेदिनी.
Okay, we'll try it together. Mooladharaika Nilaya Mooladharaika Nilaya Brahma Granthi Vibhedini
मूलाधारैकनिलया ब्रह्मग्रन्थिविभेदिनी
Manipurantarudita Vishnu Granthi Vibhedini.
मणिपूरान्तरुदिता विष्णुग्रन्थिविभेदिनी.
Okay, nice. So yeah, we have reached 38. I'll send the recording, keep practicing. But as I see more videos of Lalitha Sahasranamam, I see a lot of them saying, we don't reach Devi, Devi reaches us. So we are all fortunate that we have come nearer to Lalitha Sahasranamam. So we can feel, blessed that we are able to chant it. We are able to, discuss about it. We are able to be closer to Devi through Lalitha Sahasranamam. And I hear more and more about the benefits of chanting. So instead of questioning, let's keep chanting and see the benefits. Today, my personal story, I can tell it really helped because in the afternoon, I was feeling very sick. I had to go to the doctor and all that. I was thinking whether, I'll be able to do it, whether I'll be able to chant or, take the class even. And last week we had a break, so I didn't want to break. But after coming to the class, I feel I forgot about the pain and infection and everything. So it's good. So I'm sure in all of our lives, Lalitha Sahasranamam will really help. So let's keep practicing. Did anyone try any one shloka to chant?
Without seeing? Yes.
Okay, Lisha, you want to go?
Sindhuraaruna vigraham trinayana manikya maulisparat taranayakashekaram smitamukhim mapina vakshoru
Mitamukhi Mapina.
smitamukhim mapina
Vakshoruham.
vakshoruham. അല്ല ശാന്തി ഞാനിത് നന്നായി പറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ടിരുന്നതാ ശാന്തി ചോദിച്ചപ്പോ ഇന്റർവ്യൂ
Yeah, for me also, sometimes it just comes, but
I know.
I have to go present, it's not coming. So that's okay. That means it takes more practice, that's all. So even I was able to chant some of them with the meaning to remember and chant.
Because I was trying after last week I did not try, but before that when we thought, today I was like biking around and this was coming into my
it comes. That's what they say.
So I was like, okay, good. I know this. But when
as you practice more and more, it will come to you. So when we are in a bad situation or like we have some fear or something, it comes to us and it really helps. Okay, I experienced that in the last 2-3 days. So like, that Bhavani, Bhavanagamya, Bhavaranya, Gutharika and all, it came to my mind because it said, we are going to cover that yet, but it's like you imagine the Devi, you pray to Devi and she will cut the forest of our worries. So that immediately comes to mind, right? So when you keep the meaning in mind, you can think of one nama when you need it. So that is also one way to internalize these shlokas. Anybody else? Divya?
Yeah. I learned till the last class, Shanti.
Okay, good. So you want to do like any 4?
Yeah, I can do any 4. Not this shlok, not the dhyana shloka, but the after
Okay.
that, right? Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Anything whatever you like.
Okay, yeah, I can do that. कामेशज्ञातसौभाग्यमार्दवोरुद्वयान्विता माणिक्यमुकुटाकारजानुद्वयविराजिता इन्द्रगोपपरिक्षिप्तस्मरतूणाभजङ्घिका गूढगुल्फाकूर्मपृष्ठजयिष्णुप्रपदान्विता नखदीथितिसञ्जन्ननमज्जनतमो गुणा पदद्वयप्रभाजालपराकृतसरोरुह शिञ्जानमणिमञ्जीरमण्डितश्रीपदाम्बुजा शिञ्जमराळी मन्दगमना महालावण्यशेवदिः.
Okay, very nice. Okay, so anybody remembers around what meaning these shlokas were?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So this is explaining about starting from here, both the Toda Bhagam, then the Mut, in the Padadvaya, Kala, the way she walks, all those from the bottom portion of the body is explaining in the Keshadipada Varnana.
Yeah. So മാർദവൂർ എല്ലാം ദ്വാ വരുമ്പോ തന്നെ നമുക്ക് മനസ്സിലാവും 2 കാല് 2 മുട്ട് 2 പാദം like that comes. And okay, ഒരു കുട്ടി quiz. What is Janu? Which part is Janu? Mutta. Okay. Not Divya. Divya knows now. So somebody else. Janghika.
Bhujangika, right?
No, it is Janghika. Smaratunabha Janghika. Swaratuna, I'll give you a clue. It is the quiver, like where you put the arrows. So that is shaped like this. So what is shaped like that?
The thighs.
Below the thighs, right? The lower legs. That is Janghika. Okay. And Kurma Prishtha. So Prapadanvita was compared to what? Prapadanvita is the padam, right? The nice smooth portion that resembles Kurma Prishtha. What is Kurma like? That
Tortoise.
Was
Tortoise?
Correct, yeah. So tortoise shell aitana compare, right? So I was thinking the upper portion, then I realized it's actually the lower portion of the pada, because I was wondering how that curved is not like tortoise, right? So if you put your leg like this and look at your leg, then you feel okay, it is smooth and that shape is like the tortoise, that curve. So it is a front. Prapadanvita is a padam that you put. So that is Prapadanvita. And what is that? One more question we'll do. Shinjana Mani Manjira. What was that? What is Manjiram?
Chilanga.
Chilanga, or Mani ulla Chilanga, or that Tanda kind of thing that she wears on her legs. So that is Padambuja, her lotus feet. Ambujam is lotus. So Ambujam, lotus meaning also you can, from the root you can understand, okay? It'll be like connected with water. What blooms in the water. So Neeraja is also lotus, because Neera, in Neera it comes. Ambu is water. Again, that's why it is Ambujam. So coming from the water. So lotus like Pada. And what else? Yeah, Mandagamana is the Nadap. Okay, good for today. I think we are at 9:36. So, okay. So we'll keep brushing through these things for little meanings here and there. That way we can keep it refreshed. So all these scriptures, I feel it's again and again the same thing. But why do we learn it in different ways? Because we forget it and we need to keep refreshing. So it has to be like a lifelong practice of doing something in some form. So we'll try to do it through Lalitha Sahasranamam now, right? Okay. Hari Om then. Thank you. See
Thank
you.
you, Shanthi.